here in Thurles. Puck out from Owen Murphy. Aiming it at Henry Shefflin. I'd also be happy to see Michael Finlay gather it. Instead it's Tom Kenny. Floats one in towards Jamie Collin, who's out in the half-forward line. Oh, a hefty shoulder by Larkin McLaughlin. Michael Finlay sends a ball into the Cork half-back line. William Egan had it momentarily, but more importantly, Colin Finlay has it. Wonderful anticipation and good recovering by William Egan. And just with a little deft flick, sends it out to the Cork captain, Pat Cronin. That's good play by Cork. Breaking ball favours Daniel Carney. He's all over this game so far. In first Patrick Horgan. Horgan with a short grip. Sends it between the posts and over the bar. It's his second point of the match. And Cork lead for the very first time. But again, it's that man with a great engine, Daniel Carney.
Yeah, and very quick feet there by Pat Horgan, shortened the grip and hurled a lovely score. And as I said there a few minutes ago, Carney is absolutely dominating in the middle of the field and he's causing havoc.
Puck out from Owen Murphy. William Egan going up for it. Breaking ball favours Cork again. And once more, it's the Sarsfield's man, Daniel Carney. Changes the direction of play, sending it over towards Luke Farrell. Ball comes free, Patrick Horgan is on it. But Luke Farrell was being fouled by Jackie Tyrrell in the eyes of the referee, Barry Kelly. And that's going to be a free for Cork. Just inside the Kilkenny 45-metre line.
Yeah, definitely pulled back. And
Icon. As that ball is sent between the posts for Patrick Horgan's third point of the game. And Cork, the Rebels, have started rather well.
They have, Marty. Their half-back line, Tom Kenny, Christopher Joyce, William Egan, all on top, and their two midfielders, particularly Daniel Carney, dominating the game.
Owen Murphy sends it down the middle channel. Gathered here by Michael Finlay. Available is Owen Larkin, unmarked for the first time. He looks at the target, he's going for it. The umpire is also going for his flag. It's over the bar. Splendid score by Owen Larkin.
Yeah, great ball by Michael Finlay there, picked them out. And Daniel Carney, for once, not on up with Owen Larkin. He's been covering a lot of ground up the field, but he has to take his defensive duties into account as well.
Puck out from Anthony Nash is aimed at Larkin McLaughlin. Didn't gather it first time. Richie Power scooped it up gingerly. Far as Killian Buckley. Back far is Michael Finlay. Finlay, beautiful. Great score. Welcome back to the championship, Michael. Good to see him in the thick of the action for the black and amber.
Yeah, and that's what they do so well. Simple hand pass back by Killian Buckley. Great score by Finlay, and he started very well on the other side of the midfield as well.
Puck out, comes down towards Paul Murphy. Brian Hogan, solid as a rock. Back first Tommy Walsh, his clearance is half blocked. Picked up by Pat Cronin. Cronin is floating this very much to the left and wide. Well, Murphy wants to take the puck out quickly, but there's nobody readily available. Puck out from the Glenmore goalkeeper. Down towards Henry Shefflin. Battling there as well as Colin Finlay. Last man to touch. Dean Ryan medalist, which is a great competition at colleges level, like the Harty Cup, which he won with St. Finbarrs and Farron France. Owen Larkin is in there, so too is Seamus Harnedy. He's the number 11. Referee blows the whistle. We saw a little bit of afters there. A yellow card and shown to, it was hard to know exactly who he was pointing the card to. Let's just watch this again, Michael.
Yeah, there's a lot of tussling going on. I think Henry Shefflin just comes in from the side here, as still haven't seen. Yeah, hard to see from that. Hard to see from that angle, but
free is taken by Patrick Horgan, and that has everything you desire in a free: accuracy and power. 4 points for Pat Horgan.
yeah, great score, and I think we didn't see it in the replay, but there definitely was a slap from Henry Shefflin across the elbow, and that's what the yellow card was from.
Brilliantly caught by William Egan. Superb. Diagonal ball is aimed at Luke O'Farrell. From Kilburn to Middleton. They're stretching Kilkenny wide. Here comes Luke O'Farrell. The ball is dropping in. A disappointment in terms of the final shot. It's the third wide of the match for Cork with just 11 and a half minutes played.
Yeah, it's definitely, Jamie Coughlin is centre forward. I think I might have said Luke O'Farrell earlier. That was a bad option there, out in the sideline, going away from the goals, and there was men loose on the far side of the field, and that's a couple of bad wides that Cork have had.
Cork dominating at midfield and indeed in their own half-back line. They go forth in pursuit of scores again. Seamus Harnedy puts his name on the score sheet for the very first time in this All-Ireland quarter-final. You might have heard of him before the game against Clare, but we've all know about him now.
Absolutely, Marty. He's having a fantastic year, and Kieran Joyce, to me, has maybe been Kilkenny's most consistent player all year, but Harnedy is causing them all sorts of problems out there.
Ball from Owen Murphy is aimed at Richie Power. Christopher Joyce was all...
Maybe 4 or 5 up at half-time, and they weren't, and there's something similar happening here. They're letting Kilkenny stay very close to them.
Here's Owen Larkin.
Wide.
The follow through was there from Larkin, but wasn't matched with accuracy. That's Kilkenny's second wide of the game.
Yeah, and they've both been frees by Owen Larkin, so it'll be interesting. You know, with Henry Shefflin on the field, might get him into the game too if he's taking a couple of those frees.
From Kanturk, Anthony Nash. Tuck out, goes straight out over the...
Gillivy was pucking it down in the half back line for Kilkenny after winning ball, but you know, their forwards are competing well in the high ball and they should be going long.
Michael Fennelly sideline cut, well caught by Christopher Joyce. Lovely hands and a lovely quick ball from Daniel Carney. Owen Murphy is off his goal line. Good goalkeeper. Also, of course, made the Fitzgibbon Cup Team of the Year as a forward, so he's well used to having a little jink and a sidestep.
Then again, he had loads of time to clear it long down the middle.
Tom Kenny. Sideline ball to nobody in particular. Brian Hogan has it under control and under no pressure, delivers it long down for Richie Power. Great catch. Ball is a crossfield ball. Tried to spread open this Cork defence. Walter Walsh gets his first touch of the ball, and the referee feel that there was a bit of a jersey pull.
Big free for Owen Larkin now after missing a couple. You know, this is a fairly straightforward one, you'd imagine.
Just to the right of the post. He's missed two, but he scored twice. Once from play, and this one sails between the posts for his third point of the game. Interesting to see what Anthony Nash's puck-out strategy will be, because Brendan Cummins certainly, it was the long ball, but it was dropping down continuously on the Kilkenny half-back line, and their aerial supremacy was awesome. On this particular occasion, the aerial supremacy is Seamus Harnedy.
Yeah, he's doing, but he's done so well. He scored a great point. That's his second puck out he's won. It's a fantastic catch. He's really defined the championship so far, you'd have to say. He's having an outstanding season.
This is the previous incident.
Yeah.
That seemed to be the reason why Barry Kelly gave Henry Shefflin a yellow card.
Yeah, didn't look to be a lot in it, but there definitely, in real time, there was definitely a flick on the elbow, and that's what he gave it from.
Patrick Horgan takes the fray, finds the target for the fifth occasion. Cork leading by 6 points to 4. Confirmation that Henry Shefflin did in fact get that yellow card. Owen Murphy changing the direction of his puck-outs. Comes down fires Conor O'Sullivan. Sends it into the centre. Jamie Collin, wearing 15 but operating on the 40. He's trying this from way out the field, and that is over the bar. Absolutely brilliant play by Jamie Collin. It looked when he was hitting it that he was kind of staggering backwards. Just watch it here. He looked at the post and he had a go, and wow, it went all the way.
Yeah, great score, Marty, and Cork playing very well. All their backs nearly on top.
Ball breaks free. Conor O'Sullivan pulling first down. Stephen McDonald, a little bit of pressure from Colin Fennelly, but it's McDonald that comes away with it. Formerly played corner back, but with the injury to Brian Murphy has moved into full. Here comes Luke O'Farrell. Luke O'Farrell dropping this one in. Owen Murphy is happy to see it go out over the end line. Luke O'Farrell is winning a lot of ball, Michael, but his distribution is just a little bit off, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he has Jackie Turrell in a bit of bother. As you say, he's won a few balls, but there was no panic on him. Again, that was the wrong option. Even Jamie Cockles, maybe, while it was a great score, if he hit it wide, you'd be saying it was the wrong option. But he should have played that in. The 2 men in the full forward line, a low ball in front of Pat Horgan was the ball there.
Interesting statistics on our screen there for you in terms of puckouts won. It's Richie Power there's won this particular ball. Colin Fennelly to his right. Great diagonal run again by the Kilkenny forward line, in particular Richie Power, but on this occasion Fennelly overcarried, and we have a fight here that's going on and a fracas, and the referee Barry Kelly blew his whistle and he's now calling for at least one if not two players. He's indicating that it is a free for Cork for overcarrying by Kilkenny. Colin Fennelly and Richie Power were splitting open the Cork defence here. It was Fennelly that was coming through here, went to ground, laid off the ball, but there was a follow through there with Shane O'Neill.
Yeah,
and Shane O'Neill, looking at that picture, is looking that at least he can get a booking.
Absolutely, and Colin Fennelly took 3 or 4 steps. He went to ground, he pan passed the ball. I didn't see any free there. I think the game should have flowed along there.
Anthony Nash takes the free. He's dropping down in around the hacks. Wonderful hands from Tommy Walsh. Gets it down towards Michael Fennelly. There's a follow through there, and Tommy Walsh walks away in that old familiar style, having won a magnificent ball. Free is quickly taken by Kieran Joyce, dropping it down towards Walter Walsh. Interesting tussle here between Walsh and Conor O'Sullivan. Walsh bursting his way forward. There's a man available in the centre, it's Richie Hogan, and the ball has gone out for 65, and there's more follow through here. Tempers becoming frayed very, very early in this All-Ireland quarter-final. There has been a history between these counties in the past, but there is a red card in Barry Kelly's hand here. Now what's he going to do? He's having a word with his umpire. It's gone back into his little black envelope, but he's now having a word, and he wants to speak in particular to Colin Fennelly. He's gone back to his umpires, and his umpires are going to have a brief consultation with the man in charge. Let's see what Barry Kelly does here. Having a word with Anthony Nash and Colin Fennelly. Stephen McDonnell is the man with the red and green helmet. And Barry Kelly is clearly laying down the law. Once more, and you're gone. If I can read the sign language from here. This is the incident again as Walter Walsh came bearing down on goal. Lovely dispossession by Willie Egan, and then there was the follow through here. All unnecessary.
And I think there was a little bit of a kick again from Shane O'Neill, and Henry Shefflin saying that's twice, and see he's changed his helmet as well. He's a red helmet on him now.
Richie Power taking the 65, dropping it in, and it's gone to the left and wide for Kilkenny's third wide of the match, and they're trailing by 3 as well. 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, no Kilkenny forward Marty scored from play yet. The only point was from Owen Larkin from the middle of the field, and Michael Fennelly 2 points from play. Whereas there's a few of the Cork forwards play much livelier. There's Tommy Walsh onto the ball again, a great catch.
The mighty Tommy Walsh being hooked on this occasion by Jamie Collin. Working hard is Pat Cronin, sending the ball in towards the corner flag. Paul Murphy is there, available, make himself available as JJ Delaney, who moved away from the challenge provided by Luke O'Farrell. Back to Paul Murphy, they play a 1-2, and it's dropping down into the middle. Up goes Killian Buckley, knocked away however by Willie Egan. Fires Pat Cronin, out fires Tom Kenny, leisurely trying to step away from the challenge provided by Michael Fennelly. This is Lorcan McLaughlin. Ken Turkman, like the goalkeeper Anthony Nash. Still McLaughlin, stepping by several challenges. The hand pass inside his core. It's blocked, however, by Harnedy. Going back to gather is Jackie Tyrrell. Hand passes out. Great pressure by the Rebels. Luke O'Farrell gives it for his right half forward, Conor Lahan. And Lahan from Middletown puts his name on the scoreboard. Brilliant play by Cork. Very controlled. Under no great pressure, but putting the pressure on the All-Ireland champions.
Yeah, great passage of play there, Marty, by the Cork forwards, as you said. Tomas McCahey was saying before the game they needed to work hard, and they've been working hard at that in training, but great tackling throughout, and great finish by Conor Lahan. That'll do his confidence the world of good.
Puck out from Owen Murphy, goes all the way down for Stephen McDonnell, under pressure from Richie Power. first share by Shane O'Neill didn't quite work out. He's gone back to retrieve the situation. And it's Shane O'Neill from Bishopstown that clears his line. Michael Fennelly is underneath it. Gathering it, however, is Daniel Carney. Carney jinking left and right. Needs to use the hand pass. The hand pass is not a great one, but it does go for Stephen McDonald. McDonald goes for distance. Harnedy goes up for it. Coming forward, however, is Jackie Tyrrell. Dispossessed as Cork keep putting the pressure on these Kilkenny backs. Oh, it's such an interesting...
Handed them up, tackling very hard, and they're well on top.
Sideline cut into the centre. Coming forward is Walter Walsh. Tries to knock it back. Barry Kelly says play up. Gathered by Owen Larkin. There was a chop down on Owen Larkin. And Barry Kelly...
Two frees. Richie Power took the last 65 and hit it wide. So Kilkenny really need to be scoring a few of them because it's keeping them in the game. As I said, none of the forwards have scored from play and they're struggling to win any possession up front.
Kilkenny haven't scored since the 15th minute. 9 minutes ago. Henry Shefflin takes the fray. And normal service has yet to be resumed. Larkin is missing. Shefflin is missing. Only 4 points on the scoreboard. Let's just watch this. Did it go between the posts?
Looked like a point from there, I think.
Yeah, it did actually.
Yeah.
And Henry Shefflin thought it was a point.
He's having a word with the linesman there now. He's saying, obviously, claiming there was a score.
We need Hawkeye in Semple Stadium. And you can see Henry is explaining to Barry Kelly he was convinced that was inside the posts. Ball is aimed at Richie Hogan. Little jing to the right, makes a bit of space, floats this one in. Anthony Nash waves it wide himself. The number of wides increasing on the Kilkenny sheet here we have to 5.
I think it's just the intensity of Cork, the pace they're playing the game at is troubling Kilkenny. They're just not letting them settle. They can't get any handy possession, and Cork's movement is very impressive all around the field.
Puck out from Anthony Nash. Ball breaks down past Pat Horgan on the turn, and that is going over the bar again. 6 points for Patrick Horgan. Kilkenny finding it difficult to score at one end. The ball goes up, ball breaks for Horgan, and the Glen Rovers man splits the posts.
Yeah, and he's making it look so easy, Marty. Like they're not easy points. Shorten up his grip, and he's on JJ Delaney. He's scored 3 points from play now, and he's all over him. And Cork should be trying to get the ball into him every chance to get.
And it's that man again, Daniel Carney, pumping one into the corner. This time his distribution was to Shane O'Neill. Played so well in the Munster final against Limerick. Down towards Pat Cronin. Ball favours Michael Fennelly. Gets away from the initial challenge provided by Jamie Collin. Ball breaks inside the Cork defence. Back there is Tom Kenny getting away from Richie Power. Colin Fennelly comes into challenge. So too does Killian Buckley. Well won, however, by Seamus Harnedy. Tries to hand pass it into the centre. Coming forward. Playing well, solid is Willie Egan, but this time his distribution is poor. Henry Shefflin sends it in for Richie Hogan. It's a one-man attack. Brilliantly blocked down by Shane O'Neill. Excellent play by the Bishopstown man. Comes down for us JJ Tyrrell. One of the finest arts in the game of hurling is the block down. We saw it there with Shane O'Neill, and here comes another high dropping ball down towards Richie Hogan. This time it's Conor O'Sullivan. Hand passes it back for us Anthony Nash. We'll send it down this wing here in front of us. Good control by Daniel Carney as the ball skidded off the greasy surface. In for Pat Cronin. Sending this one in. It's dropping inside the large rectangle, but the ball has too much power in it, and that is gone to the right and wide. Well, Cork's 5th wide.
Some great hurling, Marty, in that passage of play. Great block down by Shane O'Neill, and he's having a tremendous tussle there with Richie Hogan. You watch this now, Richie Hogan very casual. Great block down by O'Neill, and again just the last shot by Pat Cronin, very ambitious in the middle of the field, and really they should be trying to feed that inside line, particularly Pat Horgan.
Puck out from Owen Murphy. Going back to gather again is Tom Kenny. His experience so vital here. He's anticipating and reading the game rather easily. Conor Lahan is working hard. A little flick forward. Good play by the right half forward. Comes back for his Pat Cronin. Pass goes astray. Henry Shefflin comes across. So too does Killian Buckley. Ball skidding off the surface. Here's Seamus Harnedy sending a nice ball into the centre where Conor Lahan couldn't grab it first time. Brian Hogan gets a little touch to it. Knocks it forward for his Michael Fennelly. Fennelly down towards his brother Colin, the captain of Kilkenny. going across to gather. This is an Piercing man, Christopher Joyce. Good stick work by Joyce, showing a little bit too much as Richie Power comes into challenge. But it's Joyce again. Famous name on the north side of Cork City is Christopher Joyce. Laying it off sweetly first, Conor Lahan. He's got one. Is this two? The ball is right and wide. It remains a 5-point game between the Rebels and the Cats in this opening half.
Yeah, great play there again though by Cork. Christopher Joyce, great run up the field, and really that should have been over the bar. I think Cork, they're just leaving Kilkenny in the game, and really they should be out of sight at this stage.
Quick back out for his own Larkin, and look at the pressure being exerted by the Rebels. The block down, superb. Conor O'Sullivan is back there, sweeping up Walter Walsh, and Conor O'Sullivan goes back to his goalkeeper. Such is the confidence in the all-star keeper with the name Anthony Nash. Delivers a long ball. Harnedy gets a touch. Kieran Joyce is there. Set to is Michael Fennelly, given the chance to spray the ball over to the right wing. William Egan, good hands into the centre. Good pass for his Daniel Carney, going for distance. Owen Murphy has to come off his line. Good hands by the keeper. Passing to 20, delivering it long. Very long, down to his own Larkin. Larkin in space, and this time he goes for the score, which he almost scored from the same position early in the game. And once again, Owen Larkin's radar doesn't seem to be on full power.
No, it's not at all. And but again, just before that, Daniel Carney had a ball in the middle of the field and just lobbed it into the goalie. Cork have had so much possession. I know Kilkenny have missed a few frees, but really it's all been about Cork, and they should have another 3 or 4 points at least on the board.
Half an hour played in Semple Stadium. Amazingly, Kilkenny haven't scored since the 15th minute. It's Paul Murphy from Danesford. Takes a little bit too much out of it. Willie Egan comes in. Owen Larkin retrieves the situation. Gives it back to Murphy. Can the cornerback score from there? Yes, he can. Outstanding play by Paul Murphy.
Now, what a player Paul Murphy has become over the last number of years, Marty, and he was nearly determined from the first time he got that ball to solo the whole way up the field, and that's a great strike from the sideline, and maybe that'll lift some of the players around him.
And sometimes the word inspiration is used loosely, but surely Paul Murphy's point will inspire these Kilkenny lads. Michael Fennelly, can he follow it up? They're beginning to find their form and their momentum. Very quick 2 points by the Cats. And interestingly, it's a corner back and a midfielder that's supplying the scores.
Yeah, still no forward for Kilkenny has scored from play after 31 minutes, and you don't see that too often. But maybe this is like some of the other games Kilkenny have played this summer, slowly but surely getting up to the pace of the game and beginning to get into it.
Puck out from Anthony Nash, comes down for his Pat Cronin. Cronin spreads it over towards Patrick Horgan. Anticipation is part of any defender's game, and this man has loads of it. Jackie Tyrrell read it well. Coming forward is Colin Fennelly, leading by example. Into the centre, Richie Hogan. First touch just didn't quite work. Good block down by Richie Power. Coming forward is William Egan. Playing solid at left half back and doing rather well with his distribution as well. Down for his Patrick Horgan, trying to get away from JJ. JJ was holding on. His calmness and gave a good pass.
Absolutely, and the athleticism of the Cork team really impressive today, particularly their half-back line, Christopher Joyce, Tom Kenny, who's been around for so long, but a great athlete, and William Egan skipped out and lovely ball up to Pat Horgan.
6 points so far, Pat Horgan. He gives this an almighty lash. But more importantly, it goes between the posts. Cork leading by 4. 2.5 minutes to the break. We've had thunder, we've had rain, and just to bring you up on the weather forecast, as you can see on our screen, it is beautifully sunny here in the home of hurling in Semple Stadium. Daniel Carney, his work rate is phenomenal. Backfire is Larkin McLaughlin. Started at centre back in the Munster final against Limerick. Coming out to gather is Conor Lahan, and he just took his eye off it. Heartbreaking for him. Sideline ball for Kilkenny. The referee won't allow that sideline ball to be taken that quickly. And if you're enjoying this, and we have a second half, of course, of this match to come. Also coming up next, Galway against Clare. Throw in 4 o'clock. It's a wonderful quarter-final day in Semple Stadium, Thurles. Coming to you live here on RT2 on the Sunday game. William Egan knocks it back. under a little bit of pressure, Shane O'Neill. Referee felt the challenge was...
They're going to need at least one, if not two goals, to get them back into this game.
A great long puck by Anthony Nash. In comes Jamie Collin. And it's Henry Shefflin that's coming in for a challenge. It's a second yellow, and Henry Shefflin is sent off. Oh my word. Well, the story of the Hurling Championship, every chapter, as we flick a page, something new develops. Henry Shefflin in his first championship match has been sent off for a second yellow. And this was the incident. High challenge, yes.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. The first one, as I said, we didn't really have a clear view of it. There was a little flick earlier on in the game and two yellows and he's gone.
Patrick Horgan takes the fray and gets the point. 1 minute of additional time in this first half. We had drama in the Munster final when the man on your screen just a moment ago was sent off. Now we're into injury time in this All-Ireland quarter-final, and Henry Shefflin is gone for a second yellow. The All-Ireland champions are down to 14 players. Well, well, well. Here comes Tommy Walsh, sending the ball in low. Ferris, his namesake, no relation. It's Walter Walsh bearing down and goal! And somehow Anthony Nash deflects it out for 65.
I think it was actually Stephen McDonald, Marty, the full-back, that got a block on it. If you watch it here again, just watch Stephen McDonald coming in now, the full-back here. He gets in and makes a great block there.
Good defending by the full-back, Stephen McDonald. The Cork defence under pressure. Henry Shefflin can hardly believe it. We can hardly believe it, Henry.
Well, he's going to be devastated, Marty. You know, a lot of the time in hurling we say, you know, harmless enough, like there was no one hurt, but you know, the rules are the rules, and that was definitely a high tackle. It was a yellow card, and the first one was a little flick, and he accepted and just ran straight off the field.
Richie Powell, they need a score before the break, but it isn't going to happen. 7 wides for Kilkenny. Cork people getting a little bit more confident. No team has won 4 consecutive championship matches in 120-year history. Kilkenny, over the last 3 championship encounters, have beaten Cork. They were going for 4, but incredibly, Henry Shefflin has been sent off in the 34th minute. The teams were level twice. Barry Kelly very much the centre of attention. But at half-time here at Semple Stadium, Thurles, look at the scoreboard. Cork 11 points, Kilkenny 6. Analysis coming your way right after the break.
This year's All-Ireland Hurling quarter-finals, and at half-time, Cork leading Kilkenny 11 points to 6. Cyril Farr, Liam Sheedy, Tomás Mulcahy here in our Semple Stadium studio. And Tomás, I know for sure you're one man that's been enjoying that anyway. They're going well, Cork.
Yeah, they're going very well, Michael. I suppose at the start we mentioned about the forwards and the work rate that they would have to put into to kind of quell that attacking the six that the Kilkenny offer, or the backs offer their forwards, because every time they want to come out and break with the ball, they break through the first tackle, and they're not being allowed that today, and that's fantastic from a Cork forward point of view. Also, I suppose the positioning of the team at the start was key as well. They put Harnedy over top of Kieran Joyce, who's been Kilkenny's best player throughout the last 5 matches, and he's quelled that challenge, and also putting Jamie Collin in as centre forward, and he's dropped about 20 yards off of Brian Hogan every time. He's picked up a lot of loose ball. If you're supposed to be critical, I suppose like they probably could have been further ahead, had a few opportunities, few mishit shots there by Park Cronin and maybe Luke Farrell from impossible angles. Well, maybe a ball across the square might have been better benefit, but doing very, very well, and doing very, very well in defence as well, you know.
And I suppose the irony of this is also from a Cork point of view, Liam. In the Munster final, we had the sending off of Pat Horgan at the end of the first half. This was the big talking point. And now, of course, it's turned around here.
Yeah,
it's
role reversal, and you know it's very hard luck, I think, on Henry. You know, I look at, you know, it's probably within the rules again. Like, I mean, you know, the first one was hard to see maybe from the camera angle, but you can see he gets a flick on, and you know he catches him. So you know it's a yellow card, and you know I think when you roll it on, like there's no real malice, I think, in the strike, but at the same time, I suppose within the rule book, I mean, this is the problem we have. It's within the rule book. It's a late strike, and it's a yellow card, and of course, once you're on a yellow card, then one more strike and you're out, you know. And like Jamie Collin is small in stature. He's sort of going to ground. He's already led with the leg. Henry's coming in. I don't think, like you can see, his arm is in, but he actually pulls his arm back as Jamie's coming around him, and Barry feels that it's a it's a second yellow card and it's a sending off offence, and they've now left themselves with a massive mountain.
The funny thing about it is, Cyril, when Shefflin got the first yellow card, I was saying to myself, well, at least it's Henry Shefflin, he won't get a second one. It's hard to believe he did.
Yeah, but as Liam says, like, when you get one, anything can happen, and like the referees are, I suppose, under so much pressure. Like, technically speaking, they can give a free for anything now, you know what I mean, or a yellow card, because that's the rule. Like, you know, Coughlin came in under the hurl, there was no malice in it, but like, he was gone already. So like, but I tell you one thing, Michael, if Kilkenny can win this match, they're a fantastic team, because they're not playing well. Cork are outrunning them. They have, like, the matchups are unreal. Shane O'Neill has hopped in on top of Richie Hogan, doing very, very well. And all the other matchups are on the pitch, but they're playing to a lovely pattern. Okay, they got put a few wide, but they're really taking them on. They're getting great scores, and they're playing it very, very lively. But one thing I noticed in the minor match, there's a nice breeze there, and it will probably help the Kilkenny half-back in midfield in the second half to stop the ball coming through. And if they're able to supply even their 5-man forwards rather than 6, they'll be still in the game. But if they can win it, there's some.
I think for Shefflin, realistically, it's his first match for a long time, and I think there's an element of frustration there. You could see him once or twice among the goal mount there. He was kind of having words with the umpire and stuff like that as well, and there was a sense of frustration there, certainly. And the first yellow card, he looks as if he's actually going to swipe, and he stops, and then he actually taps down on the hand, right, realistically.
And
the second one, I wouldn't be given any yellow card for the second one. I think it's frustration more than anything else. It is a very, very hard.
But Michael, he's also frustrated from the free.
Yes.
He's adamant that one of his frees, and we think from here as well, looking at that was over the crossbar. Now we have no Hawkeye here.
All Kilkenny fans would be frustrated with the fact, Liam, that they haven't been getting too many scores in their forward division, unlike Cork, who got some fantastic points. Now, we talked about Pat Horgan. He's made a huge contribution, as well as that, Harnedy, the hand, so forth.
Yeah, no, but I mean, the Kilkenny forwards haven't stood up at all today. I mean, they've been well outplayed. But in fairness to Cork, they've got in, you know, Tomas is right, they missed some chances, but, you know, their distribution, they're working very hard for the ball, and they're chasing down that breaking ball. And, you know, this guy, Daniel Kearney, has had an outstanding first half. I think Owen Larkin struggles in the big space of Thurles. He was outstanding at midfield in Nolan Park, but in a pitch like Thurles, it's a different ball game, and he's been given all sorts of problems from Daniel Kearney. And, like, in fairness to their half-backs, they're coming, like, all of the Cork backs are on top. That half-back then has been a real platform for them in the first half. And when they get on that ball, you know, like these guys like Harnedy and Jamie Collin, they're all well able to throw, but like every time it's soft possession coming